Very good morning, students. Welcome back to the chapter Data Structures. We have already covered a revision class 1 and also class 2. Before starting our class 3, we'll just see that what are the topics we have covered in class 2. Definitions for an array, types of an array, calculation, the length of an array, representation of one-dimensional array, basic operations on one-dimensional arrays, and also we have seen a program to input and output the elements of an arrays. These are the topics which was covered in the last class 2, and now we are going to see that what are the topics we are going to cover in a class 3 revision. Before starting our topics in a class 3 revision, we have an important note onto this video. Here we have an important note onto this video. As I already suggested all the students, all the revisions videos will have some set of rules. The important note, that is, this information is for the students, not to skip the video, for the betterment of the students to understand the revision concept. First, the previous theory classes of the particular topic was being covered. Those videos will be played, and followed by that, the revision concept on the same topic will be carried out. Now, let us see that what are the topics we are going to cover into this class 3. Topics to be covered in this revision session. The first topic is linear search definitions. Algorithm for linear search. Example programs in linear search. And also you used to have the assignment questions for the class 3. Now let us start our revision class.
Good morning students, welcome back to our online classes. Like last class we started a new chapter called data structure. I told the weightage for this chapter is 14 marks. I just brief out what we have discussed in the last session and we'll get into today's session. Last class we discussed about data structure. What is the definition for data structure? Data structure is a specialized format for organizing and storing data in the data structure, for storing the data in the memory. Isn't it? We need an efficient way to organize the data in the database. So we follow a specified structure that we call as a data structure. Then we have seen about classification of data structure. In classification of data structure, we have just seen the diagram. We have primitive and non-primitive data structure. Under primitive, we have integer, floating point, character and pointer. And we have non-primitive data structure. Non-primitive data structure, we have lists, we have arrays and we have files. And primitive data structure which directly operates on the mission level instruction, and non-primitive which are derived from the primitive data structure. And in arrays we have seen about types of arrays: one-dimensional array, two-dimensional array and multi-dimensional array. And when I spoke about array, in array we have discussed in detail about one-dimensional array, what is the syntax, what is the definition for array, all those things we discussed. Then we went to linear data structure, non-linear data structure. Linear data structures we have stacks, queues and linked lists. Non-linear data structure we have trees and graphs. This is about the classification we have discussed. Then we discussed about the operations which are performed on the data structure. We have create, update, destroy, select. We have discussed about the operations on data structure. Later we discussed about even the operations on linear data structure. So when we discuss the operations which are carried out on the linear data structure, we discussed about traversal, searching, sorting, merging, etc. So now we see, I spoke about there are two types of searching. First of all, what does it mean by searching? To find the location of an element in a given array. I'll have an element, so I'll just match my given element with the array present in the memory. If the element matches with the given position, the system, the computer will give us the position where exactly the element is present. So in searching, what we do, I tell the searching is nothing but finding a position. Finding the position of an element in a given array, we call it as searching. So I spoke about two types of searching, one is linear search and binary search. So we'll discuss about, in today's session, we'll discuss about the searching, especially in searching. First case algorithm as well as the program. First I will explain the algorithm. After explaining the algorithm, we will trace the program. Now just listen, I told searching means what? To find the position of an element in the given array. In linear search, we do the searching in a linear fashion. We do the searching in the linear fashion one by one. I am going to compare my given array. I mean I am going to compare the given element with the elements which are present in the array. So first we will take a linear search. Location is equal to 0. That means location is null. I repeat, if I tell location is equal to -1, it's nothing but location is pointing to null, because array element starts from 0. I can't give location as 0. It should be null. So instead of null, you can use -1. Next, for loop. Next, you have to implement for loop. For p is equal to 0 to n-1, I am initializing. To for loop, I am initializing p to 0, and n stands for number of array elements. If I have 5 elements, my array elements are 5, my n will be 5. So n-1 is 4, so the position will be 0 to 4. Next, if a of p is equal to element, so this side I am taking element, example I am taking some element, I will compare the element with the given position. So for p is equal to 0, a of p, that is a of 0. Imagine I will take an element and compare with the given position. If the position matches to the given, if the element matches with the given position, I will return the location, this particular location, that position I am giving it to location. So it will go to step 3. So if location is greater than or equal to 0, it will print the location. Else, if the condition fails, if you come here, it will tell search is unsuccessful. If it matches, it will go here, it will check for a location is greater than or equal to 0, it will print the location, else it will tell search is unsuccessful. So this is about the linear search algorithm. You just keep this in mind. Having this in mind, we will see how the program works and we will do the tracing of the program for linear search. So linear search, binary search is very important, both the algorithm and the program. Even in the lab, for your lab purpose, even you have this binary search. Okay. Now, so when you start writing a program, please you have to include the necessary header files. #include iostream.h, #include conio.h, #include if you want any manipulators iomanip.h. So you need to include the necessary header files. I directly started from the main function. You are aware of always the program execution will start from the main function. So what I have taken, I am just initializing my array. A of 50 is nothing but my array. I, position, element n. In pos what I will store? In position I will store my location. At what position my array is present. In element, here I will store the element to be searched. And it describes the number of elements which is present in an array. Clear screen? Now enter the number of elements. Okay. For the user, we are just taking the number of elements. Before that, see, I have taken an array. My array size, my n is nothing but 5. So I am taking array indexing starts from 0 to 0. It starts from 0. So 5 elements 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So imagine enter the number of elements. I have taken n as 5. Enter the array elements. When I ask you to enter the elements, you are entering 10, 20, 40, 50, 30. So to read each and every element, I have inculcated a for loop. So by using the for loop, I am storing all this 10, 20, 40, 50, 30 in A of I. So in my array, I am just storing all these elements. So this is nothing but my, see, my A of I. Here, this is my array and I value will be keep on changing from 0 to 4. So enter the search element. So I am entering my search element. Imagine my search element, I am taking it as 40. Okay, so the element to be searched in an array is 40. Now, position is, now I am giving position. Initially, my position is pointing somewhere else. Position is -1. So for I is equal to 0, I is less than or equal to n, I plus plus. Now I am initializing I. I equal to 0. So initially it will be pointing here. I is less than or equal to 5 means I is less than or equal to n is nothing but 5. So here it will be working. Now if element is equal to a of 5. Now just listen. If element is equal to a of 5. So what is I? 0. What is a of 5? What is your a of 5? A of 5 is 10. So what condition we are checking? What is my element? My element is 40. Is 40 equal to 10? No. Your condition fails. Now in the for loop, I value gets incremented from 0 to, now I value changes. I value is incremented from 0 to 1. So a of 1. What is a of 1? Now a of 1 is 20. So 40, my element 40 equal to 20. 40 equal to 20. No, again the condition fails. Okay. Now again condition fails. Again I value gets incremented. I value will be incremented here. Now I value is equal to 2. Now what is a of 2? A of 2 is 40. Now 40 equal to 40. Yes, my condition is true. Now here the condition satisfied. What is my element? 40 equal to a of 5. What is a of 5? A of 2. A of 2 is nothing but 40. So 40 equal to 40. Yes, it's equal to 40. Now what is my I? My I value is 2. So position here I have two break statements. It will come here. It will check here. It will come outside this. If statement, it will check here. What is my position? 2. 2 is greater than or equal to 0. Yes, 2 is greater than or equal to 0. Now, we will execute the statement next to this. Element, what is my element? 40. 40 is present at position. What is your pos? 2. So, what will be output? 40 will be position. 40 will be present at position 2, else it will not be present. For example, now I have checked for the possible condition. Now 40 I searched, I got the element is present. Imagine I am searching 60. Imagine I am searching for the element 60. Now first condition we have seen. I repeat for the first condition itself. Later we will go for the next case. Now see, have taken a given array. Okay. Now what is my array? Array size is 50, but how many elements I will put? 5. What is my n value? N value is 5. So how many elements I am inputting? 10, 20, 30, 50, 30. And one more thing, you just listen in this array. In linear search, the array need not to be in the sorted form. I mean to tell, the array need not be in ascending order or descending order. It can be any random manner also. Why? Because we are comparing the element with each and every element in an array. Wherein in binary search, before sorting, the array should be in a sorted form. That means the element should be arranged either in ascending order or in descending order. Here you see 10, 20. It should be 30, 40, 50, no? If it is sorted in ascending order. Whereas in linear search, the array need not to be in sorted order. So I have taken 10, 20, 40, 50, 30. Need not to be in sorted form. So I have seen the first condition. In first condition, what we have seen? We are searching for the element which is present in a given array. I took 40, I searched the array. Now in the second case, let me take an element which is not at all present in an array. Imagine I am taking my element as 60. Now we will see the tracing. For I is equal to 0, I is less than 5, we are inserting it up to 5 elements. So enter the search element. I have inserted 60 here. Now what is my search element? Element is 60. Again position will be pointing somewhere to -1. Now I is equal to 0, I is less than 5, I plus plus. What will do? If element is equal to a of I. Now see here. Now what is your a of I value initially it will be 0. Initially it will be 0. So what is my a of I? A of I is 0. What is a of 0? 10. Okay. Now element is 60. Okay. Now 60 equal to 10. No, your condition will fail. So So again see in the for loop, your I value gets incremented. So I value gets incremented from 0 to 1. Now your I value is 1. What is A of 1? A of 1 is 20. So now, what is the element? 60. 60 equal to A of 1 is 20. 20? No, the condition again it fails. Okay. So what will happen again in the for loop? Your I value gets incremented. Now your I value will be 2. So what will be your A of 2? Your A of 2 is 40. So 60 equal to 40? No. Again the condition fails. Again I value gets incremented to 3. What is A of 3? A of 3 is 50. So 60 equal to 50? No. Again the condition fails. Again I value get incremented to 4. What is A of 4? A of 4 is 30. So 60 equal to 30? No. Again the condition fails. Okay. Now again I value gets incremented to 5. But what is your array element? 5. So 5 is less than 5. Your condition fails. It will come outside here. It will come outside here. It will not check this. Okay, where is this? Now your position. What is your position? Your position is -1. Okay. Your position what I have initialized? I have initialized to -1. -1 is greater than or equal to 0. No, the condition fails. Now it will come here as the element. What is the element? 60. 60 is not present in the array. 60 is not present. Like that you will get the output. Element is nothing but 60. 60 is not present. So we have discussed two cases. One we have discussed, I have taken the element 40 and I have discussed the first case. Next I have taken the element which is not present in an array. So I have taken 60. 60 is not present in an array. So what will be our output? 60 is not present. If you take 40, 40 is present at the location 2. So here what will be I value 2? The 2 I am giving to position. What I get? If now 2 is greater than or equal to 0 as the condition is true. Now what is the element? 40. 40 is present at position. What is the position? 40 is present at position 2. Is it clear? So in linear search we discussed two cases. The next searching method is binary. Welcome back to your online classes. So for the past two sessions we were discussing about data structure. This is the revision schedule. So in the revision schedule this will be your class 3. Okay, this will be your class 3 revision. So last class I just briefed out what we discussed in the last two sessions and I have given you the assignment questions too. Please you keep writing the assignment. Each and every day whatever the concepts we are doing revision, for those revision concepts I have given you the assignment question. Please keep writing into your assignment notes. So now last class I discussed what we studied. In the last session we just spoke about what is data structure, classifications of data structure, then we have seen the operations on data structure, then we have seen what is linear and non-linear data structure. After linear and non-linear data structure we have seen about arrays, what are the different types of arrays, definition for arrays, memory representation of arrays, all those things we have seen, and we have even discussed a problem how to calculate the length of an array and how to calculate the given location of an array. And for today's session we will be discussing about searching an element in a given array. So there are two types of searching. As I told you, we have linear search and binary search. In today's revision schedule we will be discussing only about linear search. Okay, so about linear search we will see the definition for linear search, algorithm and an example program. And your assignment question will be what is linear search definitions. Actually I put it in the PPT, please go through definitions, algorithm as well as an example program. Okay, now what does mean by searching? Searching is nothing but finding a location of an element in a given array. I call it as a searching. So there are two types of searching as we discussed. So we have linear search and binary search. Finding the location of an element, so you will be given a search element. You will compare the given search element with each and every element present in an array in a sequential order. If in a sequential order we will search the element given item whether it's present in an array. If it's present, we will just return the location telling that yes, the array, the given element is found in the given location, okay, in the location in an array. So this is about linear search. Binary search we will discuss in the next session. So I have written you the algorithm for linear search. What is the definition for linear search? Traversing in an array. We will compare the given item with each and every element in the array. If the search element is found in an array, we will return that the element is present at the what position it present, we will return the position. Okay. Now this is an algorithm for linear search. So please just go through the same thing what we did in the revision schedule 2. See, algorithms will not change, even the program will not change. Only the example which I trace might be different. So if those who are not understood it, please again concentrate. So initially I will give the location to -1. That means location is null. Initially it is not having anything. So initially I am just maintaining I am initializing my location to -1. I have a for loop for t is equal to 0 to n-1. Why? Because n-1, the array indexing starts from 0. We are taking n-1. N represents the number of elements present in an array. So we have an if statement. I will compare the element with the given array. So given the search element is compared with each and every element in an array in a sequential order. If it's present, I will give the t to the location. I will return the location. Go to 3. 3 what it will print? It will print the location. Else, if this condition fails, it will print search is unsuccessful. I repeat, we compare the element with the array. If the element is present, we return the position. If not, okay, see present means go to statement 3, that is step 3. Step 3, what is present? Print location. Else, we will just check if the location is greater than or equal to 0. Suppose your location is 1. So 1 is greater than or equal to 0. Yes, this condition satisfied, we print the location. If it is not present in an array, your location will be -1 itself. So -1 is greater than or equal to 0. No, the condition fails. The given search element is not present in an array. That time it will print search is unsuccessful. Okay, this is about the algorithm. Next, I just trace you the program. We'll see the program. Students, I told you I spoke about linear search. We have discussed the algorithm. Now we'll discuss the program. See, in the last in the classes, the linear search concept, when I was doing the classes, the video was not clear, isn't it? There was a shade beside when I was tracing the program. So I have rewritten. Please, those who not understood the program and as well as the tracing, please concentrate here. So this is a revision for linear search. So linear search, we discussed the algorithm. What is the thing I told you? We will be comparing each and every sequentially. We will be comparing all the elements with the given element. We will check the given element whether it's present in an array. We will just go sequentially. If it's present, we will return the location. Now see, I have included, usually when we start the program, we start with the header files, isn't it? Default, sometimes we may start writing it from the main function, but once you start executing in your editor, Turbo C, you need to include the required and necessary header files. So I should include iostream.h. Why? Because we use cin and cout, your consolein and consoleout input output stream. I use iostream.h. Next, we have conio.h. Why? Because we have clear screen as well as getch routines to clear the screen. This is to get the output on your command prompt. So we have, when we call these two routines, clear screen and getch, I need conio.h. myomanip.h. Why? Because I use setw. Setw here I am not supposed to represent the array elements. If you are using setw, like setwidth, you need to use IO manipulator. See where is here why I am using, because I am using the manipulator endl. So endl and setw, like that, set precision. If I use any of those manipulators, you are supposed to include the necessary header files. If you are using any of the mathematical function, you need to include math.h. Okay. Suppose you are including exit, you need to include stdlib.h. Okay, please make a note of it on the header files. Now the program execution starts from the main function. Since the program after getch, I am not returning anything to the main function. The return type of my main is void. So the data type, the return type of my main is void. It's not returning anything to the main program. Now initially I start the program by declaring. Now this part is called as declaration. So int integer, we have declared an integer. Int stands for integer. I am declaring my array. My array size, how many bytes? 50 bytes I am reserving. So for a of 50, that is an array size, I am reserving 50. So I use in the for loop, so I am declaring the variable I. Position is nothing but here your location. It return the location. So element, it is store a search element. What element you have to be searched, that will be present in element. N stands for number of elements. Okay. Now I call it clear screen routine. Then enter the number of elements. When you trace the program, how will you write? For example, here I have the output. So first enter the number of elements. Enter the number of elements. Imagine I enter the element 8. Okay. Now n will be, now what is the n value? N value is 8. Now enter the elements. Next is enter the elements. So enter the elements, you will be entering the array elements. Imagine 10, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 50, 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I have written, I have inputted. So I have input the given array elements 10, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45 and 50. So to read the array elements into the keyboard, I need to use a for loop. Now my a of I will contain the array elements. Now enter the search element. Imagine I want to search the element 40. Enter the search element. Enter the search element. I need the search element is 40. So what is your search element? Your ELE will be having 40. Your n will be having 8. Okay. So n is 8. Your ELE will be 40. Now initially I am initializing my position here. My position is equal to -1. So now I have for loop. For I is equal to 0. I is less than, what is your I value? I is 0. 0 is less than or equal to 8. Yes, 0 is less than 8. So I have this element equal to a of I. So what I have? I have 10, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. I have 50. Now what I have in a of I? A of I is nothing but a of 0. Why? Because I value is 0. So what is a of I? A of 0 I have 10. Okay. So 10. What is my element? My element is 40. 40 equal to 10. No, my condition fails. So what I do? Again my I value gets incremented from, I will be incremented from 0 to 1. So what is my I of 1? My A of 1 is 20. Your A of 1 is 20. Is 40 equal to 20? No, your condition fails. Again your I value will be incremented to 2. What is there in A of 2? A of 2 we have, A of 2 I have 25. So 40 is equal to A of 2, that is 25. No, the condition fails. Again I value will be incremented to 3. What is now A of 3? A of 3 I have 30. So 40 equal to 30. No, your condition fails. Again your I value gets incremented. What is the I value? I of 4. So I of 4 what I have? 35. I of 4, that is A of 4 I have 35. So 40 equal to 35. No, the condition fails. Again I value gets incremented to 5. So what is my I value? A of 5. My A of 5 is 40. So 40 equal to 5. Sorry, 40 equal to 40. That is your A of 5. Yes, the condition is satisfied. Now I value I will give it to position. What is the I value? Your last I value is 5. So your position now it will be holding the value 5. Okay, break. It will come here. Now position. What is your position? 5. 5 is greater than or equal to 0. Yes, 5 is greater than or equal to 0. Now element is present at position. What is your position? 5. What is your ELE? ELE is 40. So what will be output? In your output, element is 40 is present at position. What is your position? Your position is 5. At position 5. Okay, this will be output. Else it will return 40 is not present. Okay, condition, suppose I am searching for the given element 60. So So after searching the array element, 60 is not present. So what will be printed here? 60 is not present. Okay. So this is the tracing. I repeat, the logic starts from here. Now initially I will give the position to -1. Okay. Then I have a for loop. Now I value will be, what is I value? I of 0 is 10. So 10, 40 equal to 10, no. Again 40 equal to 20, no. Is 40 equal to 25, no. 40 equal to 30, no. 35, no. 40 equal to 40, yes. Condition satisfied. At what position? At I value 5. So I value I will give it to pause. I will come here. I'll check. Position is 5. 5 is greater than or equal to 0. Yes. Condition satisfied. So ELE what I have? 40. So 40 will be present. 40 is present at position. What position? At position 5. Else it will print the given element is not present in an array. So this is about your linear search. Okay. So I have given you the assignment question. Please go through. Binary search we will discuss in the next session. Thank you.
Before seeing the assignment questions, we'll just have a revised onto the topics which is being covered in a class 3. The first topic was a linear search. Definition: algorithm for linear search. Example program in linear search. Now, the assignment based on to the class 3, which we don't have any 1 mark question or any 2 mark question or any 3 mark questions. We have only 2 5 marks questions on today's topic. Let us see what are the questions for the assignments. Today's assignments, the 5 mark questions are: write an algorithm for linear search. Write the algorithm for linear search. Write a program to find the location of an element by using a linear search. Will come again. The first question is: write an algorithm for linear search. Second question: write a program to find the location of an element by using a linear search. Thank you, students. We'll see you into next session. Thank you.